Hey everybody, thanks for coming fishing with me today. I had some audio issues, so I'm going to record this after the fact and put it into the video so we can talk as we go. Um, I made this video because I had a hard time finding videos. You can see my jigs right there coming towards these two fish that are laid up on this stump. Here we go. Livescope wasn't quite lined up, but watch this. There he comes. Got it. Got him. So I made this video because I had a hard time finding videos like this that'll show you a big screen of, what we're seeing on the screens when we look at Livescope, and also kind of give you some perspective of what's going on in the boat at the same time. I find a lot of videos of just guys pulling in fish, and you don't know what they're seeing. So I wanted to make this to kind of balance it out a little bit, and also a lot of friends, family that can't come out of the boat for whatever reason, health reasons, maybe they're far away. I'll show you guys what I'm doing out on the lake, and kind of make you feel like you're still back home out on the boat with me. Watch this guy. He's way up there on the top of that tree. Oh, he got scared. I spooked him. Just that little bit of movement on that jig scared that fish. It does not take much for some of these crappie to get spooked like that. This is Lake Darbonne, and the fish here on Lake Darbonne, for whatever reason, are really skittish. Really, really skittish. Oh, I missed him. Missed him. He came up, tried to get it. I didn't. I either didn't set the hook quite quick enough, or he just, was too small, or just didn't get it right. But I missed that one. Before this thing, you'd miss them and you wouldn't really know what was going on. It'll break your heart now to see you miss some big fish, because you can see how big they were sometimes. I've missed some big ones. And for everybody that's joining on here local, just know that Lake Darbonne has a brand new regulation. It's November of 2022. Lake Darbonne has a brand new regulation right now, and the rule is you can still catch 50 fish and keep 50 fish, 50 crappie, but only 7 of those 50, only 7 fish can be over 12 inches. So you can keep up to 50 that are under 12 inches. You can keep 50 fish, but only 7 can be over 12 inches. What's this? This guy's following it. Following it. Oh, he nipped it, but he didn't quite get it good enough. No, didn't get him. And now he's moseying on back down towards the bottom. He didn't want anything to do with it now. He knows something's not quite right with it. So he's done. These fish, you see the range up at the top, those numbers at the top of the screen. So the very first 5 you see, that's 5 foot behind me. So that's like under the boat. Now the 0 foot is directly under that transducer that's on a pole in front of me. And so I'm having to kind of, get my line that's almost where it's right under my feet. And I'm trying to do that by picking the pole straight up, and then I'm dropping it down before it angles out in front of me to get these fish here. Got him. Got him. There we go. In my head, I always call that a reverse cast, right? Because you're picking it straight up, and then you're casting, letting the line float out in front of you. So when I'm doing those, I always just think of it as a reverse cast. Which one am I going after here? That's a good little brush pile right there. There's a few brighter spots. So you see all the... Oh, there's one. He got it. You see the big, tree there. And then those bright little spots, they're just slightly brighter than the tree. They just shine a little bit brighter. That's the fish. And that's what you're looking for. Those brighter spots, those are fish. And there's fish all over. You can see them swimming around. You see a little school of shad right over there that's about 0 foot out. Well, they're gone now. But there's fish everywhere. And Lake Darbonne has crappie everywhere. The whole day, this whole fishing trip that I'm about to show you guys that lasted maybe 3 or 4 hours, I only fished like a 50-yard circle I didn't go hardly anywhere. I just stayed in one little area. So, oh, here he comes. He saw it. He's coming out. Boom. Got him. That's a good fish. That's a really good fish. And so I wanted to put, a lot of these catches in here, and 'cause that's the fun, right? Is watching the fish get caught. But I also put a lot of the misses in here, like where I didn't do something right, and I wanted to show that too, because a lot of these videos out there make it look really easy. It's not easy. I miss my casts like a lot. I maybe get my jigs to go where I want them to about 1 in 3 or 4 casts, exactly right. Especially on a day where the wind's shifting around and moving the boat, it's hard to keep the. What am I? Oh, there's a lot of bright marks down there. You guys see them? All the little bright spots down in that brush. So let's say it's gonna drop. You can kind of see something moving down there. Here he comes. He's coming out. He sees it. Bam. Nope, he didn't get it. There he goes. One thing I'd love to know, I see a lot of the guys out there, they can get them to, they can trigger a bite on the way up. I almost never can do that. Like that is kind of a rarity for me, that one that bit it after he chased it and didn't, hit it right away. A lot of mine, whenever they chase like that for an extended period of time, they don't bite. They'll follow it up, and then they just won't ever bite it. Maybe it's very, very likely I'm doing something wrong. But I just keep trying. It's that same brush pile. It looks like I'm dragging straight through it, but I think I'm a little bit to the side of it. Yeah, there you go. I just turned the pole so you can see it better. So there's some brighter spots down there still. Here comes one. Bam. Oh, what happened there, the reason he didn't come up immediately, my reel was not fully closed, or the bail was not fully closed on that reel. And so when I went to set the hook, the bail flipped open and I had to close it real quick. So luckily he was hooked good enough, but I could have lost that fish. I remember that bail not being closed, and I was like, That was a fun one though. This video turned out exactly how I had it in my head. This is the kind of video I was looking for. When I was trying to learn Livescope, I see my jig is kind of hung up on this log a little bit, and so I'm just raking it up that log. I think I lose this fish. Yep, I lost him right at the boat. So I was raking it up that log, and when he flipped up to bite it, you saw how I had my pole way up in the air whenever I was trying to lead him up. I had it so far in the air that I couldn't set that hook good enough. Oh, I remember this spot. There were a lot of good fish on this stump. This is a fun one. I pulled a few off of this, I think, but they were good fish. Yeah, you can see them 1, 2, 3, 4 all stacked up right there. But watch this first one. This doesn't, this takes longer than you'd think. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, I could have done so much better." You probably could have. I messed this up. Like, watch this first one. He got spooked. He came up, looked at it, and said, "Nope, don't want it." I don't know what he didn't like about the jig. I didn't have. I think the crappie nibble, the little scent thing, had come off of it, and I had to keep those on here on this day to keep a bite going. It was a relatively slow bite day on Darbonne. Like a lot of times out here, you get close to the fish, they're coming off of cover and attacking your jig, right? Sometimes it's just that's how easy it is. Today, you got to get it right on top of them for them to do anything. But you see how tight these guys are to cover? They're hugged up against something, and if they're not, then they're moving. That's just fall fishing, I think. But I've only had Livescope for a few months, and before I've been a nut for fishing forever, but this kind of fishing is a whole different experience, and I'm loving it. But it's giving me some perspective and things I should have been doing all along. One of them is, you see how tight these guys are to cover? Man, I should have been feeling cover like almost the whole time with my jigs. I would feel cover, and I'd back off of it a little bit, fish a foot or two away from it so that I wouldn't get hung up. Nah, I should have been losing jigs like constantly, and I shouldn't have been on top of stuff. Like I've noticed if I get close to fish now, they're darting away. Like even 10, 12 feet is sometimes too close. I can't remember when these guys bite. It took me a long time to catch these fish. I didn't want to just make this video a constant catching fish video. I'll put some markers in here on the video so that you guys can skip ahead if you just want to see me catching fish. But I wanted to kind of show you the real stuff too. And this is a good example of it. This thing had 4 fish on it when I pulled up, right? Clear as day. I cast it on the first one. He spooked off. And now I've been trying for several minutes to get another one to bite. Nothing. Right? And a lot of times it's because you don't have your jig in just the right spot. I mean, it's hard to tell which direction these fish are looking. You got to get it, you may be 8 inches or a foot off. And if you're not getting it right in front of them when they're not active, they're not going to hit it. See there? Went right by him. Would you believe you can get a jig within 6 inches of a crappie and he wouldn't do anything to it? But that's how close I was right there. I was almost in the right spot. But you got to get it in exactly the right spot. This might be our good cast right here. Honestly, I can't remember. But here it comes. Making one more pass. Yeah, this is the one. Oh, I think he didn't see it, but here he comes. Got it. See, it took him a minute that time, even though, he really didn't. He had to see several times kind of wake him up before he bit that thing. You see all these trees in the water? They're everywhere at Lake Darbonne. One thing I didn't think about with Livescope that helped me so much is before I would come out here, and it was kind of terrifying coming out around these stumps with my trolling motor. I was just, I would bang into these things, and it kind of made me just cringe every time I was sure I was going to break a propeller or something like that, because you can't see them. Right? They're just like 6 inches under the water, or 8 inches, and the water's murky a lot of days. So you're banging into these trees. It's a whole forest. It's a flooded forest. And if you get out of that channel, these trees are everywhere. But with Livescope, I can look around in front of me now, and I can avoid the trees. It's been a huge navigational aid. I didn't expect to use it that way, but I use it all the time now that way. Like I hate getting out of the channel without having it on. I'll sit in the channel or right on the edge of the channel until I get that Livescope on, and now I can get around all these trees so that I'm not banging into stuff all day and risking damaging my boat, which my boat is my boat stays pretty damaged. My boat is a 40-year-old boat with a lot of the original stuff on it, so it's not a pretty boat, but it catches a lot of fish. So here, this one sees it. Bam, there he is. Boy, you can see that braid. When I set the hook on that braid, it casts some bubbles out. There he is. Braid's really not my go-to line anymore. I do like braid, but I've been using some like combination line, like the fluorocoat stuff for my primary now. I do like braid. I love everything about it except the tangles. I've used it a lot for like vertical stuff, but man, for casting and flipping out with these longer poles, I stayed tangled so much that I just couldn't keep doing it. I was spending half my day getting untangled. Some of you guys out there probably don't do that, or are better with it, but me, I'm sure if I practiced a good bit more, it'd be fine. But let's see what the next target's going to be. This was a really good day. I went out with 24 fish in my ice chest, which again is it's less than half the limit on Darbonne. And I only wound up with 5 that were over 12 inches, or 12 or over. So I was kind of worried about it. And 24 fish that's a pretty good day for me. I usually don't catch 20 fish or so, 25 fish, and then I'm done. Unless I go with my daughter, and then she will make me keep everything that touches our line. Watch this fish. Does he see it? He sees it. He kind of turned, but he didn't commit. There's another one, though, sitting right on this log. Look under that little L part of the log right there. That's a fish. And he saw it. There he is. So you see they're bright spots. Sometimes they're just slightly brighter than the log. You just gotta look for those little differences and then try to get your jig there. That's is much harder than it looks. When I got this thing, I wasn't thinking that, you had this beam, right? And I for anybody that does crappie fishing, I would highly suggest if you get a Livescope, put that transducer on a pole. Do not put it on your trolling motor. I can't fathom trying to point the trolling motor at a stump at the same time that I am trying to view something to my right or left, or no, just keep it separate. You can steer into the wind and look to your right, constantly and fish that way. But anyway, it's very difficult. So I have to aim that pole, the pole mounted transducer, in the exact right direction that I want to look. And then I have to put my jig, in that beam and keep it exactly where I want it, which is tough because the wind will push your line. And just that little bit of push on your line will push your jig out of the spot you want to go. You see this? I'm hung up on that log right there, or that tree. Got off of it. Putting a weight ahead of your jig is, I did it to get down deeper faster and for casting, but man, it helps a lot with not getting hung up on stuff like that. Because your weight will hit it first, and you can kind of bump yourself off of it before the jig has a chance to hook the trees and stuff. I still get hung, but not near as much as I used to. See these slightly brighter spots on there, just slightly. I lost the sight of my jig. There he is. Oh, we missed him. Now he doesn't want anything to do with it. He knows something's wrong. He may have pulled the tail off. I'm using the soft plastic baits, like I think a 1/16 ounce jig head is what I'm using right here, and some softer plastic baits. I usually use like smaller jigs, like a 1.5 inch jig bodies. It's what I'll use out here a lot and have a lot of success with. But to be honest, it really doesn't seem to matter that much. It matters a little bit, but I get more bites on the smaller ones, but I still get bites on it. If you can get something in front of them, a lot of times they'll bite it. But what you'll wind up seeing a lot of times on here is they'll chase it, look at it, and then turn away from it. If you see that happen a lot consistently, that's when it's time to change your color or change your profile of your jig. So if you're using a 2-inch or a 2.5 inch, something bigger, try something smaller, or vice versa. If you're using something small, try something bigger. That guy, see, I didn't think he saw it, but he did. He came up after it. He was hungry. He got it. I'd say the only negative right now for Livescope for me, because I'm having a blast with it, is it is making me a little impatient. So right there, like you saw me, I was about to pull that jig up. I was like, oh, he doesn't want it. But it only been there for a second. I should have left it, you know. That was a small fish, tiny fish, by the way. But I still should have left it to see if I could get something to bite, as opposed to just picking it up. Before this, you know, I would fish a spot and I'd leave my jig for 40 seconds in the spot, working every little bit of it, you know, up 6 inches or 8 inches at a time, up and down and every which way around brush and stumps. And now that I've got this thing, I'm not doing that, and I have to. Oh, there's a couple of them right there. Got one. Those are good, like hard marks. The brighter the spot, the bigger the fish, is generally how it works. And when you're out further, that's even more true, because when you're further away from the boat, the beam is wider, and so your returns won't be as hard. So when you see a hard return far away, that's a good fish generally. On this log, got off of it, drop down. That's a fish there. It's a little brighter return. I probably wasn't in quite the right spot. So you want your jig, you're jigging your weight to return about as hard as the fish you're after. And you want that return to be bright. So right now that's kind of fuzzy, so I'm not quite aimed in just the right spot. This looks better. We got hard returns on my jig and weight. That's a hard return on that fish. So we're probably in a decent spot. Yeah. There he comes. Got him. There he is. And there are just fish everywhere. I mean, you guys can see, right? There's other fish down there. You can spot them right now everywhere. There's crappie everywhere. Like I said, I only fished a 50-yard area. I was really just wanting to make this video, and so I didn't move, you know, spot to spot to spot as fast as I normally would, because sometimes I'm just trying to catch a bunch of fish quick. But today I wanted to really work on technique and show some of the harder to catch fish. I don't, you know, showing the easy ones is, yeah, it's easy. But if you find some that aren't wanting to bite, and you can show, you know, different presentations on how to get them to, that's pretty fun. Here he comes. Whew. You saw that? That one was kind of chasing it. He might not have committed, but it put pressure on that other one. The other one saw the jig. He saw the other one chasing it, and then he hit it immediately because there was pressure on him. I've seen that a lot. Like if one is chasing it and it's coming right by another one, you're going to get bit 90% of the time. In my experience. I cast short on that one. You saw it. It's a big mark there, but I messed up that cast. Fish is like 25 feet away. I probably should have moved in a little closer, but a lot of times if you see me doing that kind of stuff, it's probably because there's a stump in my way. Here, that's a better cast. Right over him. Here he comes. Wham. Oh man, that never gets old. We've all been fishing, you know, a lot of you guys, me too. We've all been fishing like our whole lives, and wondering what's down there. I used to have, you know, I'd kind of wonder what was under me. What am I missing? And if I could just see in the water, you know, I'd know right where to catch. This is that. This is letting you see what's down there. And there's so much more going on than I ever thought. Like I used to kind of picture a barren wasteland underwater with fish here or there, maybe. But there's fish everywhere. Look, there's fish everywhere under the water. There's constant movement. There's just stuff everywhere. And it's interesting to watch. Sometimes I'll just watch. Like I picked up my pole the other day and I was trying to tie it on a jig, and I watched a big school of shad with some big catfish under it that were eating the shad. And I just watched them for a few minutes. It's like having your own little aquarium viewer floating around the lake. That was a bad cast too. Way too short to recast that one. So the audio issues I had early in the day, really my microphone was just clipped into the wrong spot, too close to my life jacket, and it was making a lot of racket. But they disappear pretty soon, and you'll get my original audio. Oh, here I go. All right, that's a better cast. There he is. Got him. There he is. And so I'll move over to the original audio. You guys get to hear kind of what was going on during the day on the boat. But I wanted to have something in place of that staticky noise. So I made some voice overlay. But thank y'all for joining and watching the video. I think that's a fish down close to the base of this log here. I don't know though. Maybe not. But if it is. Oh, yep. He's still looking at it. Up on it. Man, those hurt you, right? You see a good fish, see him see your jig, and then see him completely ignore your jig. So my buddies say it's like worse. Now you see all the fish you don't catch. You can see them. And it'll drive you crazy. It's honestly why I don't catch more fish. It's just, I just hate giving up on these that are, you know, like this one. That went right by his nose. No interest. You know, there's another one a little further out than that, right around that 18-foot. Ooh, there's some good fish right here. Okay. I don't know what changed in the last few seconds, but some fish moved in. You guys see these big marks I'm talking about? Of course you do. Ooh, these are two big fish right here. Ah, I missed them. The wind kind of died down, and so the boat is moving more. Okay. We're doing good with our approach right here. I think that was a fairly good cast. Yep. Let's see if we can get one of these to bite. Yeah, there's one. He's not really the one I wanted, but he will eat. Little, probably 9-inch fish. Now, let's see if the one that I did want is still there. Oh, there's some good fish right here. Oh no, I'm tangled up. Oh man, okay. You guys deal with stuff like this? I sure do. All the time. Okay. That's a better fish there. One of the hardest things with Livescope is, like, you have to keep your pole tip in line with where the beam is angled at, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be reeling in towards what you want to. Neither one of those big guys wanted a bite of this. Guess not. Jeez. Alright. We see them down there. They are hugged up tight to those little stumps. Those are usually the ones. Oh, he hit it and he missed it. No. But he tried. At least he's awake. He just saw a little minnow swim by him, and he missed him. He's thinking, man, I can't believe I missed that minnow. But here's another one. Looks the same. And we got him. I don't know which one of those we got, but we got one. You know, I was worried about that 7 limit thing. Oh, the small ones I'm catching today. I am fishing a different spot today. I'm going to do some times, but I've only got 2 that are over 12 inches. One just barely. So, again, I don't think that limit is going to hurt my fishing much at all. Maybe like the trophy guys that are out here, you know, only targeting the slabs and stuff like that, but I just want something that's going to be good in the fryer. That's what I want. How about you? Y'all? I'm sure a lot of folks are the same way, right? Like, just give me the stuff that's going to be good to eat. Oh, there's a big one right there. Y'all see that little mark right there? He's like on that stump on the way to the other one, so we'll try and pick this guy up. Oh, he did not want it. Okay. Let's see if we can pick this one up. Okay, this looks great. There he is. Ooh, that was a pretty big pull he did there. Yeah. Okay. You're a bigger fish. I mean, no monster or anything, but he's bigger than the last few we got. Yeah, you're a good bit bigger. That's a nice one. It's a nicer fish. I'm gonna have to measure you. You are about 11 and a half. Yeah. Perfect size. Perfect size. Don't count towards the 7, but you're big enough for really big fillets. My 6-year-old daughter, she's gotten a little pickier now. She's like, I like the big fish, Dad. I like the big ones. I say, what do you mean? They all taste good. Yeah, but you know, like the big ones are just meatier. Yeah, they are. She currently has beaten my crappie record. We do this. I bring her out here. I set the hook. She reels them in. And she reeled in a 2-pounder like a week or 2 ago. So right now,
she has beaten my personal record of biggest fish reeled in. That's how she counts them. Y'all see those two big fish right there that I'm reeling towards. I don't know that that big one's a crappie, but God, he's moving. Yep, and he moved elsewhere. But here's another one. Let's try and get this one. There he is. Come on, come back left. You can kind of drive your jigs to get them sort of where you want them. But man, if you start out your cast at the right spot, it helps a lot. There he is. Ooh, that's a good fish. He's not as good as I thought he was. Yeah. Not a good fish really at all. He'll eat. Let's see. He's like a 9-inch fish. He sure did fight for a second there. One up high. And one down low. Let's try and catch the one that's down low, stationary. There he is. He saw it. There he is. Little bitty guy. Little bitty. Boy, he was just barely hooked too. Oop. There he goes. Easy little fella. Alright. Tiny. Oh, that didn't look too pretty. Okay, there's one way up in the water column. Yeah, he was hungry. Oh, we lost him. God, he was hungry. He nailed it. Okay. I think I'm on that log, I think. Nope, I wasn't. You believe those guys didn't even look at it? Didn't even look at it. Oh, you know what? I was a little farther right that time. Alright. Now, I'm gonna have a decision to make when editing this. Do I leave in all of my silly mistakes? So, give you a realistic view. Or do I take them out so that you guys don't have to watch all my nonsense? Alright, come on, fishy. I know you're hungry. Yep, he is. He is hungry. I want to eat too. But tough moving around the lake before a live scope because I couldn't see the stumps. Can't see them, you can't avoid them. Oh, there's a big fish. Y'all see that? Bigger. Yep. He saw that. He saw it. There he comes. Oh, we lost him right at the boat. Woo. That was a big fish. That was a big fish. Oh, there's our spot. Those two big marks. Let's try them again. All right. Our cup runneth over, guys. There's fish everywhere out here. Oh, there he is. That feels like a good one. Yes, indeed. Ooh. Okay. He ain't hooked real good. Yep, it'll work. That's a nice fish. Nice fish. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Nice fish. Very nice. Let's see how nice. If he's going to be number 4. I think he is going to be number 4. Yep, about 12.5 inches. 12.5. Number 4 towards the 7. Got to keep up with 2 counts. 1 count, real hard to hit. 50. The other count's 7. You can keep 7 fish at Darbonne now up to 12 inches or more. That's a brand new rule at Lake Darbonne. So just measure your fish as you catch them.
Guys, that's it for my my video. Thanks for watching it, and for friends and family, if y'all want to come out fishing and try this out, please do. For you guys that are out of town, that are missing it, this might make you cry a little bit for coming back home. But if you do, give me a shout. Come out of the boat. Come do some fishing. We can put this pole between us, and I will the transducer. We'll put it between us, and I'll use it. Give you the screen, and I'll use a tablet, and we can both fish it. That's what me and my daughter do, and she catches a lot of fish for a 6-year-old. A whole lot of fish. But thanks again. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoyed making it. I'm gonna make some more of these. And for Dad and anybody else that may be in a nursing home or places where you can't get out and fish anymore, I hope you guys really enjoy it too. I'm gonna make a lot more of these. So I hope y'all are doing good and that you had a good time watching this. Thanks, guys.